Here I have 4 examples of different circumstances for closing a discussion. Your group will fall into one of these situations. So let's get started. But first, if you like this video or you learned something, please give a thumbs up and subscribe for notifications. It really does help. How to conclude a group discussion. Your conclusion is no place to bring out new ideas. The best way to conclude is to summarize all the points that you have discussed. In other words, you wrap up the main points in the discussion. Well, you need to follow the flow of your group discussion if you want to conclude accordingly. For closing a discussion, your group will fall into one of these situations. Situation 1. All candidates unanimously agree on the ideas presented. Example: in conclusion, all of us agree that Pomodoro and Eisenhower techniques are great when they are blended together, as they help us to completely focus on urgent and important tasks. Thank you for a fruitful and interesting discussion. Next, when you have 3 candidates agree on one of the arguments, while one candidate strongly agrees with a different argument, then your conclusion will be different from the earlier one. Example: in conclusion, majority of us agree that Pomodoro and Eisenhower techniques are great when they are blended together, as they help us to completely focus on urgent and important tasks. Thank you for your contribution to this discussion. So for this situation, the phrase used here is majority of us, but not all of us. Now let's move on to situation 3. For this situation, 2 candidates agree on one argument, while the other 2 candidates agree with another argument. Example: after listening to all the opinions, we are unable to make a solid decision, as some of us believe that prioritizing tasks based on importance and urgency is the most effective way to manage time wisely. On the other hand, the rest of us think that the best strategy to manage time is to minimize distractions by shutting off phone, closing unnecessary browsers, blocking social media, and avoiding interruptions. Thanks for a fruitful and stimulating discussion. Well, the next possible situation that you may encounter would be all 4 candidates could not agree on one argument. It is possible that a group discussion may not be achieved at the end of a discussion. Don't be panicked, because you can still have a conclusion. For example, we are unable to come to an agreement on the most effective way to manage time wisely. All of us strongly believe in our own points that we presented, though we also agree with some of the arguments. Thank you very much for your attention and participation. This video is part of a playlist on how to ace in MUET speaking, so if you want to learn more, make sure that you go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!